And again, I don't want to give away everything in the book because I want people to buy this book. Like I bought this book because it's so worthwhile. But one thing you did have in that first step, and you talk about building the foundation, is these bald-faced lies that are
Yeah.
told to builders of companies. You have five of them. I'm just wondering if you know if any one or two of them come to mind that you'd like to comment on.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big ones is that you have to be an engineer coder in order to build a startup.
Right.
And you don't.
Right.
That you really don't, especially now. There's a lot of what we call low code or no code solutions. These are solutions where you don't have to know HTML, Rails, any of the coding languages in order to build. And that has been revolutionized by companies like Squarespace and others, where if you have a product
Mm-hmm.
and you want to sell it, you can get it online within an hour using one of these low code solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And that has really revolutionized and expanded the startup space. The other one is that you have to have gone to some like big name school in order to be a startup founder, and that's absolutely not true. You some of the biggest founders, I mean, one of the biggest would be Steve Jobs, and he
Sure.
did not go to an elite institution. In fact, he went to community college and then went to Reed College. Jack Dorsey, who is founder of Stripe and
Yeah. Sure.
Twitter and a whole bunch of other stuff, went to the Missouri Institute of Technology. I didn't even know Missouri had an institute of
I didn't
it's
even know
like
Missouri has any
as
technology at all.
I didn't know that, and as he says, it was the other MIT.
Yeah.
But like,
The
right, I
other
mean, and
MIT.
these are incredibly successful people. Most of the successful folks who are in the Fortune 500, particularly or the Forbes list of richest people in the world, particularly African Americans, most of
Mm-hmm.
them did not go to Ivy League institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them didn't even actually go to any institution, like a
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z. And so if that was the metric, which has been pushed as this narrative that you have to go to Stanford, Harvard, MIT in order to be a successful founder, well, that's completely a lie. I mean, it's completely false.
Kathryn, I want to add something to that as well. I mean, you picked as examples, I don't know, like fucking geniuses, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs and Jack Dorsey, and I mean, you're like Jay-Z. Yeah, I have to just also add that I'm a CPA. So
Yeah.
we have a few hundred clients in my firm. I come across many business owners, successful business owners that no one's
Mhm.
ever heard of, but are
Yep.
successful running their businesses of all different colors. They went to Penn. I'm in Philadelphia. They went to Penn
Yeah.
State. They went to
Great
Middlebury
school.
University. They went to university. Like and you don't necessarily have to be a genius to be a successful business owner, and you
Mm-mm.
don't have to go to an Ivy League school. I've met too many successful people that have gone at a very ordinary education, some not at all, but just have it within them to
Yep.
to do what they got to do. It's not everything has to come down to where you are and what you've learned. So I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah. And they saw an opportunity.
Yep.
They created, and this is something I talk about in the book, they created something of value that
Yeah.
other people saw value in. And they saw enough value that they were willing to pay a premium to get that service or that product. And that's really the key to a successful business, is creating something that others find value in enough that they're going to pay a premium so that you make a profit, that they get the service that they want. That is the real true intention of a successful business.
And you even say it in the foundations is they're not afraid to fail.
Not
They've
at
been there and
all.
they've done that before, and they understand. They've got a self confidence that, like, even if I fail, I'll pick up another one. The best example I can give you. I know I want to move on because I have other questions, but I have another client, Trenton, New Jersey. He's like a
Mhm.
manufacturer. I've known this guy for like 25 years, and I remember when he was just young and starting up his business. When we started working together, I remember saying to him, like, what happens if this business fails? And he's like, you know what? I'll just start something else. I mean, at the time there was no
Yep.
internet. He was like, I'll buy a local paper from one county and another local paper from another county, and I'll go to the wanted to buy ads in one paper and the wanted to sell ads in one paper, and I'll
Yeah.
match them together. In other words, he just had the confidence saying, like, yeah, I'll always be able to put food on the table. It's fine. And I think
Yeah.
you've got to have that self confidence and expect that kind of failure.